Hey guys, I hope you're having a great day. I had to send this email because um, lots of things affecting real estate right now. We're in a period of influx, and insurance is not immune from changes that are happening with our economy. So I had to bring on my insurance guru, Leah, to chat with us. And you guys have heard of like the gecko from, why can't I think of the name?
Geico.
Geico, thank you. The Geico Gecko. Oh my gosh. And the Mayhem from Progressive, but I need to introduce you to Leah. So Leah is an insurance broker, which is a little bit different than just calling a number that you find online. So Leah, can you tell people what an insurance broker is?
So before I get into this, I didn't know what an insurance broker was because I had always been with Allstate. My aunt owned an Allstate agency in Pennsylvania, and that's just all I knew. So when we moved to Arizona and I got into this, I delved into the independent side. So an independent broker is someone who represents the client. They are appointed with different companies such as Travelers, Safeco, they're a Liberty Mutual company, Nationwide. There's a bunch of different companies, but they have a variety to offer the client. They don't just have one company to offer. Unlike a captive agent, such as State Farm, Geico, they are all captive companies. So they can only offer you what they have to offer, which at the time might be fine. However, on renewal, what happens is the rates go up, they got nothing else. So they can either change your coverages, increase your deductibles, and try and help you lower the premium, but they really can't do much else, much to their dismay. So when renewal comes around for us, we look at all the carriers proactively to make sure that what our clients have is the best bet for them, what they need, and also a competitive premium because everything is going up drastically this year.
And that's really what brought me to this conversation, right? Is because I've heard of so many people who are like, oh my gosh, my premiums are going up so much this year, and they're freaking out. So I'm so glad that you brought that up. And it probably took me like many years of our friendship to equate what you do to what I do, right? Someone can walk into an open house and it might be the perfect fit, but it also might not be. And if you're working with an agent who only shows you their own listings, that's a pretty small pool of stuff. But when you're working with a real estate agent who really operates in MLS, that's everything for sale on the market. And when it hit me, I was like, my gosh, it's like exactly what Leah does. It's just a different product. So thank you for that. So with pricing going up right now, pretty much across the board, what are common mistakes that you're seeing people make when it comes to insurance?
So a lot of times they'll just call and say, I can only pay this amount. And we're aware of everyone just being so cost conscious right now. Everyone's concerned about price. And we completely get that. But you don't want to slash coverages because when something happens, that's a problem. So the common mistake is people will just come in and say, give me the bare minimum of what I need that will satisfy state of Arizona. So those are called state minimums, and they are very bad. State minimums for Arizona are 25,000 slash 50,000. So what that means is if someone's at fault in an accident and they injure someone else, that's their bodily injury liability. So they'll get for the other person $25,000 a person or up to $50,000 per accident. Everyone well knows that a hospital bill can run into the hundreds of thousands of dollars if it's a significant accident. So only having the bare minimum is a terrible idea. And the other mistake people make is getting rid of the uninsured and underinsured motorist coverage. That is what I like to call idiot protection. That is protecting yourself against maybe other drivers who only have state minimum or they don't have any insurance at all. And that can help cover you in that event. So those are two common mistakes that it's not explained to them when they go to lower their coverage. But we help to educate our clients. Of course, the decision's always theirs, but we want to make sure that they're fully informed when they're making those changes.
Well, no, I know sometimes people, they're always leery about talking maybe to somebody they don't know or that they don't have a relationship with. So I think of, I was with USAA for years, and it was just always because like, it's a great company, it's this or it's that. And it's not to say it is or it isn't, but it is to say that sometimes we just don't know. And so if someone's trying to compare what they have to maybe what you have, can you kind of talk through what that process looks like?
So we usually compare their exact coverages and we quote that exact coverage. And then after that point, then we can go through kind of make sure it's what they want, it's what they need, and then we can make any changes then. But we like to do an apples to apples coverage just so that they can get a good comparison of, is it worth a transition? Sometimes, not every case do we find that it's worth a transition, or maybe they are happy with who they have. But if there's going to be a significant savings for a lot more coverage, then that's something that they need to decide. But we do always quote apples to apples coverage, and then we always make changes after the fact.
So what Leah just said is why I brought her here today. You guys know how picky I am about the people that we put in front of you, because you really want to make sure that you have the best options. And it looks bad on me if I bring you somebody who's not the best at what they do. And we've had Leah quote clients out different quotes for whatever they need, and have come back to that person and said, you shouldn't switch. What you have right now is perfect. Let's go ahead and talk in a year, 2 years, whatever their situation is, because it might look different then. But I think the hallmark of a true professional is when they're able to make a sale and they don't, because they're showing that it's not in the best interest of the person that they're employing. So guys, down below is Leah's information. But Leah, they'll have your information. So from that moment, where should they start? I'm going to give them your email and your phone number. What should they do from there?
So they can email, call, or text me. I have an assistant. His name is Nate. We can take their information. However, they're comfortable presenting it is fabulous. It doesn't really matter if they want to text me the information, email it, read it to me over the phone. Everyone has a different comfort level with what they like. And then from that point, we quote them. Usually there's a 24 to 48-hour turnaround time for a quote. There are special exceptions that we will make depending on certain circumstances, but usually 24 to 48 hours. And then it's a brief phone call, usually about 10 to 15 minutes, and they can make the decision as to what they want to do. It's really, there's no cost, there's no pressure, because this is insurance. So we realize it can be very frustrating, very confusing, and we just want to make it as easy as possible. And if they decide to make a transition, we also offer sending a cancellation letter to their previous agency, the previous company, to kind of make the process streamlined, and it's one less thing they have to do.
Music to my ears, because I don't love doing anything like that. So for my own self. So thank you for that, Leah. And thank you in advance for taking care of our people. So you guys heard it. Leah's info is down below. Please reach out to her. If anything, just for some education on what you have to confirm, it's great. But it could be an eye-opening experience about either what you've got covered or what you're paying for it. So thanks, guys. Have a great day.